Hey Cake Chums, and welcome back to another video. Now if you keep up to date with my blog, which incidentally you can find down in the video description, you will know that this isn't the video that I was planning on uploading this week. I was actually planning on something entirely different, but then life conspired against me and here we are. That being said, it means I haven't been able to pull together all of the footage and everything that I wanted to really make this video perfect, but I figured let's roll with it anyway. Regular viewers will know that I recently had a very special guest in the Mr. Baker's Cakes kitchen, and that was to help us celebrate the launch of this fabulous new book from my friend Jane of Jane's Patisserie. In fact, we recently uploaded an Ask Me Anything video right here on my channel, which I will link up in the top corner if you haven't seen it yet. And a couple of weeks ago, I even had a go at baking this cake from the cover of the book. I'll link that one up in the corner as well if you'd like to check it out. But when Jane told me that she was planning on having a big party to celebrate the launch of her new book, and asked if I would like to create a very special cake to help her celebrate the event, I counter-proposed that she actually came into the Mr. Baker's Cakes kitchen and had a go at making the cake with me. Now I'll warn you, I haven't filmed the entire process from start to finish because it was a pretty big cake and this video would end up being about 4.5 hours long. But what I have done is filmed all of the bits that Jane worked on with me because I figured that you guys would love checking it out. Now between you and I think I've actually managed to lose some footage as well. I honestly don't know how, so apologies that you don't see kind of everything that we did together, but hopefully you see enough to kind of get a flavour of some of the fun we were having, and also it may well help you with some of your cake construction conundrums as well. If there is anything that we don't cover in the video and you'd like to know more about, don't forget you can head down to the comments section and ask away, and I'll be sure to swing by and answer you as soon as I can. But I guess, without much further ado, let's get to the video. Without much further ado, please welcome the beautiful Jane of Jane's Patisserie. So Jane, yes. Obviously you have just launched your cookbook, which is very, very exciting.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about the cake we're going to be making?
So, lovely Rob over here decided a really, really cool concept, which I honestly didn't think would be possible, would be a stack of books, which I think is like the best way to celebrate the launch of the book, is literally an edible stack of books.
Now we keep talking about the book. Yes. We obviously should bring out the book. And again, if you've already watched my videos recently, you will know that we had a go at baking this recipe on the cover.
Which was amazing, by the way.
Thank you very much. I did get some really nice photos out of it. But yes, so the plan for the cake that Jane and I are going to be making together this week for her launch party is going to be a stack of these books, and then hopefully we're even going to sculpt an extra one to sit on the top. Yes. Open like this as well. So we've got a lot of work to do.
I know.
I don't think we can really afford to waste any more time,
No.
so we probably ought to get cracking.
So exciting!
Wish us luck! Obviously, to make our cake, we're going to need some cake. So here we have got 3 12-inch squares of vanilla sponge.
Yes.
And the first thing we're going to do is cut these into 1-inch layers, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you do that.
Oh gosh.
Using my very swanky cake leveler.
Oh gosh, how scary.
Shall I show you how to do it first?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm a little bit terrified. It's a bit more intense than mine.
We're going to cut across the corner.
Very nice. Does that stop it ripping?
It does indeed. That's the
Nice.
plan. Watch it rip now. So, long soaring motions.
Oh, smart.
Like so, and then as you get past the widest part you can start to turn. Obviously because we've got the cake sat on grease proof, they're a bit more mobile than they would usually be, and then when you get to the end, just one big long sweep.
I'm a bit scared that if I do that it's just going to fall and crack everywhere.
And so in theory, we should be able to... The trick is to move quickly.
Yes.
One layer of cake. So we can do exactly the same again,
Yeah.
but this time you're going to do it.
Okay.
There we go.
The fear is real, I'm not gonna lie.
Perfect.
Yay.
And the best part of levelling your cakes like this is it means you get to taste.
Yes!
So if we pop that there, everyone dig in. By the way, Chloe is here as well. Chloe, say hi.
Hi!
is Jane's assistant because she's a big enough deal to have an assistant. I don't have an assistant. I just have me.
You do it and you smash it and it's fine.
Let's hope I don't smash it today. Okay, so we're going to level the rest of these cakes and then we will be right back for the next part of our very complex assembly.
Yes.
Okay, so we have leveled all the cakes. We now have 6
Yes.
1-inch layers. I've
Yes.
got what layers we had. And so now what we're going to do is assemble them into our pile of books. So the first thing, I say you're going to do it, I'm just going to tell you what to do.
Oh gosh.
So the first thing we're going to do is just put some ganache on the board just to hold everything in place. So here's some I made earlier. If you'd like my ganache recipe, you can find it on my website, which is mrbakerscakes.co.uk.
Yep.
It is essentially idiot proof.
I've used it before. It's genuinely really, really good. I love it. Oh. Am I literally just thin?
Not the whole thing, just literally maybe like that much in the middle, because it's purely there to hold the cake in place. If we smear the whole thing, it's just going to get messy.
Like,
When you make your ganache for something like this, you want it to be about kind of a peanut butter consistency.
It's
So,
very, very like this.
yeah, that's perfect.
Literally very satisfying consistency.
Thank you, it's not my first time.
I know.
It's a bit Jackson Pollock.
I don't decorate cakes like this very often.
I'm a
guys.
perfectionist, what can I say? There we go, that'll do. Okay, and then what we're going to do to make kind of the book that we want, we're going to put 1.5 cakes on each layer. So, as I say, they're very large cakes, so I'm trying to be very careful not to
So I would definitely
move around
drop
too
this, I'm
much.
not gonna lie.
And because it's for a big event, really, we should be measuring as well, so.
Everybody knows with me I'm a little bit chaotic, so this is quite refreshing.
You think, have you watched my YouTube videos? 2, 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Whoops.
Literally, basically,
1, 2, 3.5.
perfection.
Thanks very much. And then for this one, we're going to cut it in half. So, don't break, don't break, don't break. The pressure. Again, normally when I'm making cakes, it's purely just for these guys. So the fact that this is going to go to an event afterwards is.
I'm so excited, and I also
quite
get to eat it,
stressful.
so I'm quite happy about that, I'm not gonna lie.
We can then, we will put some more ganache, but again, we need to line it up first of all. So yes, these are all equal, but it doesn't leave us enough room over there. Love the fact that I'm doing all this off the side of the camera.
We love it.
I seem to have this thing whenever I film with somebody else, because we're all so used to just filming on our own.
Everyone's like, what do we do?
Yeah, I did a video with my friend Natalie a couple of weeks ago in her kitchen, and she basically just spent the entire video edging me off to the side.
That's why I'm literally trying to stand here like, ah.
Okay, so with the measurer, rule, we'll put it inside, yes I did.
Just hidden away with some cakes.
Such
That's
a
normal.
professional. Right, 3. Oh, he's good. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is check these measurements and make sure that they are the right size
Perfect.
for your book. And I've left those downstairs, so hold that thought, I'm not going. There is a small piece of paper in the kitchen on the side which has scrawls over it in pencil. Would you mind grabbing it, please? Totally get used to this.
It's much easier, isn't it?
Anyone would like to be my assistant, hit me up in the comments. I can pay you with cake off cuts.
Literally, to be fair, the best kind of cake. Not gonna lie.
So we want it to be 34 centimetres long.
Lovely.
There you go, we can have even more cut-offs, and we want it to be 26 centimetres wide. We are going to trim this down by about 1 centimetre on each side. Okay, and then lengthwise we want 34, I said, didn't I?
Yeah.
7.
From each side, well, that's 5. Severely questioning my math skills right now.
Just to remind everyone, in my other job I am a teacher, so she's in good hands. We'll have a chat off camera. Okay, sorry for the brief interlude there, we just had to stop filming while Jane did a quick phone interview with the Times.
Sorry, guys.
But what we've done then is I've cut out some little templates based on the measurements I did on the last lot of cake, so that now Jane can do the next lot, and then what we'll do is we'll start to build it up together, and it will be amazing. So again, I'm going to let you take the floor.
Perfect, thank you. Would you normally just line it up like that?
Yep, perfect.
Oh gosh, just a little bit.
Watch your fingers. Soaring motion is generally preferable.
Okay. Again, this is not something I normally do. So for me it's...
Well, maybe it will be now.
Yeah.
Be the new direction for Jane's Patisserie.
A little bit.
How to make a Malteser cake that looks like a bag of Maltesers.
Imagine. A little bit scary.
Okay, so we'll take this out of the way.
Slap bang in the middle.
Slap bang in the middle, and what we'll do is cut off all that caramelisation, which is, in my opinion, is the best part of any cake.
I agree. It tastes insane. It's very, very lovely.
I think that there seems to be a new trend where people like trim it off all their cakes, but actually unless you're going for like a semi-naked cake where you want that really like pale finish,
yes.
Personally I love it. I think as long as you wrap your cakes up while they're still a little bit warm,
yes,
it's delicious and lovely and not at all dry.
I was going to say, like, these sponges seem to be so delightful, but I've never really used the Madeira style before, so I guess it's much easier for like sculpting and...
Yeah, if you want something that's going to kind of hold a shape and also be quite supportive, then the Madeira is better. But you can make life a bit easier as well if you chill the cake, because what will happen then is all the fats inside the cake, so your butter or your spread, whatever you've used, will solidify just like it normally does, and your cake will be easier to carve, and then when you bring it back to room temperature it should be nice and moist again.
And it'll be delicious.
Delicious. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to make sure we have lots and lots of strength. We're going to build it like you would a brick wall while we offset where the joins are.
Lovely.
So, the first thing we need to do is pipe a dam of ganache around the outside.
I like watching a pro.
Does that mean I'm doing it then?
I mean, maybe the first one. So I can get it right.
So all we're doing is piping a dam because that will just hold the buttercream in place, and then when we cover the cake with ganache it will blend in and make it nice and sturdy. And then in there we're going to put some lovely caramel buttercream, which is actually your recipe, and then we're just going to go
fill it all in.
And fill it all in.
Oh gosh, the pressure. How much would you normally fill to like the...
kind of around about the same height as the ganache, maybe slightly less. Again, because we're doing sculpted in a fashion, we don't want to go too thick with it because that will make everything slightly less sturdy and stable.
Yes. Would you put more in that?
I don't know, I'd say that's a pretty good amount, and now just like even it out, and what's going to happen there is we've got that really nice kind of like vanilla-y sponge, we've got that caramel buttercream, we've got the milk chocolate ganache, and it's essentially going to give us almost like a millionaire's short cake.
Which everyone will know is like one of my favourite flavours.
Absolutely,
ever.
And obviously the book was the inspiration. If we're going to do the cover of the book, it should taste at least a bit like it. That looks brilliant. I'm just going to tidy up the edges, not because she did a bad job, just because I have like an extra chain. And then we can go on with our next layer. So because the big piece is on this side, this time we're going to put the big piece on that side. So
absolute pressure.
It's going to be fine. As much support as possible. Beautiful. And then it is simply a case of just making sure we are all lined up. And don't forget we can hide a multitude of sins with the final top coat of ganache as well. So we're fine, okay?
So when I have not cut it to the right size, I did not.
It'll be fine. To be fair, you use my template, so if there's any mistakes, it's my fault.
It's just a little bit out.
It's cake, we can smush it. Okay, so we're going to carry on doing this, and we'll see you when we've kind of got everything stacked up. So hold tight. Okay, so we have got our, I haven't actually checked that camera can see, by the way. Can it see? Excellent. So we have assembled our cakes, and this is going to be the bottom tier of the overall thing. So now what we need to do is give it a crumb coat, and I know you know what a crumb coat is. But for those of you at home who don't, it's essentially just a very thin layer of buttercream or ganache or whatever you're using as your filling and topping, just to hold all the crumbs to the cake so that they don't end up coming through to the final layer. You can see it is quite crummy looking already, and it's also just going to kind of seal all that ganache in against the cake as well.
It's life changing really, isn't it?
It is. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab just a normal edge scraper, and I'm just going to try and get rid of as many of these loose crumbs as I can, because I don't want to attach them to the cake. And then what I like to do is just grab my piping bag of ganache and just whiz around and just make sure any gaps are filled. Like so. It does help to control.
Yeah. So sometimes when I've tried to skip the crumb coat and just go straight to, doesn't work, not worth it.
No, and even if you're covering in sugar paste, it's still worth doing the 2 layers, just because it keeps everything a bit neater. So the first thing I'm doing is just whizzing around and smoothing down where it's bulging out the sides. And then you're going to get the really fun job of covering the whole thing with ganache.
I'm so excited and also scared. Yay.
And square edges as well, don't forget.
Yeah.
Everyone's least favourite.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, chocolate ganache. Palette knife is in there. Goes to town.
Oh gosh, I'm very scared, I'm not gonna lie. So I would normally do it where I just grab some and then just on the sides and stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
I always love it when you see if other people do it different ways.
In America, again, it's very trendy to put a massive blob on the top and then work it to the edges and then down the sides.
Yeah.
But I just like the control of that smaller palette knife.
Yes.
It's really taking my time.
I'm the same. I've tried it a couple of times with the blob on top, and I get worried that it's just gonna ruin it, essentially.
It's also very easy as well to get too much on the top, because especially with this crumb coat, we want it to be really thin, so I'm not so worried about making sure the cake is completely square and everything at this stage, just sealing all those crumbs in, and then I can come in with that top layer.
See, I'm not very good at this. It's already going.
Oh, we never put the crumbs back in the bowl.
My bad. Sorry guys.
Just because we're going to use the same ganache as well for our top coat. So we normally have a second bowl, which I don't have, so that's my fault.
I'm so sorry. Oh no. This is very stressful.
It's alright, they can't see the bit you're doing now, so you can...
It's a good thing.
You can make as many mistakes as you want.
So is that the right sort of thickness?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
We need another bowl, hang on.
I'm like, where do I put
Here you go, you can have a mug. This is where I keep my props for photography over there, so you can have a mug for scraping in.
Thank you. This is going to make me a lot more comfortable now.
It even has the price still on it.
Oh gosh. Oh god, how do you do it this way?
I'm going to blow your mind now.
I can't do it on camera, that's my problem.
What I normally do when I'm working on a big heavy cake is I have a Lazy Susan, which I essentially use as a turntable. Oh my word.
That won't help because life changing. I will do the corners in a second.
That's fine. Again, the corners are kind of the tricky bit because it's really easy to pull away chunks of cake. Square edges are the worst.
That's what I'm a little bit scared of doing, about ruining your magic baking and decorating. It's terrifying. Oh.
Much as I would love to just film the entire process of you having some sort of like nervous breakdown, I might jump ahead until we've got the entire cake covered and then we can talk smoothing.
Oh gosh.
And as if by magic, crumb coat done. So we now need to leave this to set, so we're going to pop this, well I don't know if it will fit in the fridge, we're going to pop it somewhere cool anyway and we'll let it start to kind of set up slightly and then we'll come back in and do another layer in about an hour or so, so we'll see you guys then. Okay, so it's day 2. I didn't film any of what I did after Jane went home yesterday, but we're now at this stage here. So we have got this big cake.
It's massive,
It's very big,
amazing.
it's very heavy. And we've got this cake. And so what we're going to do today, in I guess what is part 2 of this video, is decorate them. I think you told them we're making books.
Yes.
So no spoilers. It's hard to keep track because you guys know what we're doing because you're going to see this after the cake is finished.
Yes.
But people on like Instagram and stuff don't know what we're doing, and it's all very hush hush. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to start decorating. So we're using sugar paste today. I don't want to touch that. We had a bit of a gel Mageddon just
Little bit
now.
of an aqua problem.
We're going to be using the marshmallow flavoured sugar paste because it's delicious and it'll go really well with the chocolate and the caramel, and it's basically a giant s'more.
I know, I'm very excited about it, I'm not gonna lie.
So I guess we've got to adjust some camera angles and get cracking.
Not my dogs.
Yeah, that's going to be in the video. Okay, so camera angle adjusted. Icing. How much experience do you have working with ready to roll icing / sugar paste /
Not
fondant?
Much. Not
Okay.
much. It scares me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, it shouldn't because I always say that ready to roll icing can smell fear. Yeah, if it senses that you're not comfortable, that's when it will misbehave, and then of course it's all downhill from there.
I always like to trust beautiful people that know how to do it rather than me even try. So this is gonna be fun.
It will be fine. Also, we were not joking about the gel Mageddon, so watch me now try and use white sugar paste and end up colouring it.
It's fine.
First thing we need to do with sugar paste is to soften it up by kneading. So often when you watch like cake decorating shows, like Nailed It for example, they go straight in the rolling pin on this,
Yes.
and of course it doesn't work. So I like to break it up into some slightly smaller, more manageable pieces. And then it's a bit different to kneading bread, because normally with bread you push out and then you fold back in or you roll back in. We don't want to do that with sugar paste. So what I tend to do is I push out, but then I turn around, fold back, so that I'm not trapping the air inside it.
Okay, yeah. Literally the opposite of what I do then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, because this is a premium sugar paste, it's got a bit more kind of a chemical in it called gum tragacanth,
Okay.
which helps it be more stretchy and sturdier and easier to use. But it also means it's really easy to trap air inside it,
Yes.
and that's when you get loads of air bubbles.
Right.
So, yes. Okay, so I've just shown Jane how to create a nice kind of book page papery effect on one side of the cake here, and now she's going to have a go at doing it herself while I film her doing it for you guys to see. So good luck.
Yes.
Over to you.
Thank you. Oh, you sort of push it like.
And then rotate, usually about I'd say 45 degrees, but you can go 90 if you want, whatever's comfortable. And try to push equal amounts on both sides of the pin.
Oh gosh. Not right to the edge.
Not right to the edges, because otherwise you end up with it going thinner there.
I think that maybe a little bit more depth because I feel like I'm going to get that stuck. I'm learning.
You're doing amazingly.
I'm that way. No, actually. I'm learning as I go. And then just
Yeah, so choose which you think is your straightest side. I'd say that one.
even with that. No.
Will be fine. Is it stuck?
No. Then
I would flip onto that hand and then onto that. I can always dive in and support. Again, it's the fear.
yeah.
Just don't give in to the fear. So then you can grab your clear smoother and then just hold it down on the board and just slide it backwards and forwards. Put some proper welly into it. In the pushing down, not the okay. And then this is the really scary bit, is the trimming. So what you want to do is cut from this side, but follow the top of the cake.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
From
So
this
you end
side
up-
that way.
Yeah. What, are you left or right-handed?
Right-handed. Might be
You can
alright.
choose which way.
I find it easy to do
Yeah,
that
then
way.
do that way, but you want to be watching where your blade is coming through, not that side, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But
So
if it all goes horribly wrong,
we can sort
you
it.
can fix it.
So like here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, it's spinning them. Ah.
Okay. Okay, and as always, through the magic of editing, we now have white icing.
Literally!
Hopefully you can start to see it taking shape, but
I think it looks really good, genuinely. The entire time I've been going, yeah, it actually looks like paper.
and it's only going to get better from here.
I'm so excited.
Okay, cool. Next up, we are going to move on to the spines on this last side here. And for that, we need some coloured sugar paste. So this is exactly the same stuff, the Renshaw extra marshmallow flavour, ready to roll icing, but we've coloured it with Rainbow Dust Pro Gel in Aqua. So let's get cracking on
Yes.
it. I say let's get cracking a lot. It's really annoying.
I say
I edit those out. It's fine. Would you believe that's where the footage ends? Talk about a cliffhanger. Now I know that we filmed more of the making than you've just seen, because if you check out last week's Ask Me Anything video, you will see in the background that we have decorated more than is done there. So I honestly don't know what happened to the rest of the footage, and I do apologise to just leave you in the lurch. But hopefully, again, you enjoyed seeing just some of what Jane and I got up to while she was here in the Mr. Baker's Cakes kitchen. Some of you may well have seen the finished cake already over on social media, but of course it wouldn't be right to kind of wrap this video up without at least letting you see the finished cake and also just some of the fun that we had at Jane's party as well. So I'm going to insert just like a little slideshow of some of the photos from the event, courtesy of Hannah Venn Photography, and I'll link her Instagram on the screen at the bottom somewhere so you can go and check her out. I also need to give a massive shout out and a thank you to my friend Vicky Tether of the Yellow Bee Cake Company, who you've seen here on my channel before. She very kindly agreed to make that amazing mini Jane cake topper for me so that Jane wouldn't catch sight of it here in the studio while we were working on the cake. I'm sure you'll agree she did an absolutely amazing job, way better than anything I would have done. And it really just brought the cake together and just made it a real showstopper. So thank you so much, Vicky. I couldn't have done it without you. You'll be pleased to know that the cake went down an absolute storm with everybody in attendance, and they were all incredibly complimentary about it, including the head chef at the venue, which was amazing. I've never had a head chef track me down at a party before to tell me how good my cake was. So thank you very much to him as well. Now Jane and I had lots of fun at shooting our video together, and we do hope that you enjoyed it too. We are already kind of planning on doing some more projects together as well, so if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see us do, whether that's come up with a new recipe, decorate a cake, or even do some more kind of sculpted cake decorating, carving type stuff, then do head down to the comments and let me know what you would like to see. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below. If it's your first time watching a video right here on my channel, please do make sure you hit that big red subscribe button before you go. And of course, if you click the bell icon as well, that will make sure you get a push notification every time I upload a new video. While you're here, if you were one of the people who entered my Jane's Patisserie recipe book competition a couple of weeks ago, we did announce the winners in last week's video. So if you haven't watched it yet, head down to the video description and I'll pop a link to that video. I still have one winner who hasn't come forward, so who knows, it could be you. But other than that, I guess that's everything. So I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you again for watching, and thank you of course to Jane and to Chloe for coming and having lots of fun with me in the kitchen. And I'll see you guys again at the same time next week for another video, which hopefully will be the one I had planned to upload this week. It's going to be lots of fun. So I'll see you then, and until then, take care and happy baking. Bye everyone.